Welcome to the Building Academy, and we are excited to drop this first video of our clients in Ayi Mensah that we are building for. And in just 100 days, we turn this boring piece of land into this beautiful structure that you are seeing. And in the coming weeks, we are going to go detail by detail breakdown, step by step, week by week, how we accomplished it, how much it cost, what went into labor, what went into materials, and some crazy challenges we faced on this project. And if you're excited to go on this journey with us, then subscribe. Let us reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and also put in your comments about any questions that you have concerning this project at any point in time. And with that said, let's get straight into today's topic, which is about the initial contact, the documentation, and the minimum requirements that we go through with clients before we start any building project. So for us, it started out with an email. We received an email from two friends actually, and they said they had a plot of land at Ayi Mensah, and they felt we were the right people to put up this building project for them. And they kept insisting, sending follow-up messages and all that. So we set up a Teams call to understand what their requirements are, what their dream home is, and what their vision is, and how long they also want to complete this building project. So we set up a Google Meet meeting, myself and partners at Africa Building Hub, and then these two friends who would want to remain anonymous. In the course of the meeting, they mentioned the fact that they had purchased two plots of land at Ayi Mensah side by side. They had walled it, and they wanted to use the same architectural drawing to build the first one, then we'll build the next one for them. And then again, we asked them a few questions, and these questions we would ask anybody who comes to build or wants us to build. And these questions, you should also use it to guide yourself if you want to start a building project. One, have they registered the land? Now this is very important because I see a lot of people in Ghana who have purchased lands without registering it. So all they have is like a site plan or an indenture. Having a site plan or an indenture does not give you ownership of the land, especially in Ghana where there are multiple competing interests over any particular portion of land. Let me explain. I've seen people who have purchased land and the same land has been sold to different people. The first person who would register the land is the person who will be given the land, and those who fail to register will probably be compensated with other lands far away, or sometimes they'll tell you they'll pay you back your money but in installments. Sometimes they take 5 years, 10 years to pay and all that. It's a bit of an inconvenience that you can easily avoid. So once you purchase land, head to the Lands Commission and register it, secure it, get a title in your name. This is a picture of what a land title certificate looks like. So when you have it, you know this is the document that I need. Don't walk around with your indenture or your site plan and say you have the land title documents. Even if you are selling it for me and you come to our channel that we should help you sell it, we will not be able to help you sell a land where you don't have the title. Again, another reason why it's important for you to get the land title certificate is because sometimes the government can come and say they want to use this area for a certain project. Let me give you an example. The Pokuase interchange, before it was constructed, there were buildings and offices, homes, hospitals, hotels by the roadside, but the government had earmarked those portions of land for the road expansion project. And so anybody who had purchased land in those areas, who had one, a building permit, and two, had a title certificate, were compensated. They were given monies. Anybody who didn't have those documents, you can't prove ownership. So how do you even come for money? Even if your land is not by the roadside, still try and get a land title certificate for any future litigation issues. So that's the first thing we checked. And then the next thing we checked was if they had acquired the building permit or they had even started the process of acquiring a building permit. Now this for us is very important because we don't want to be working and the people from the municipal assembly will come and seize the tools of our laborers. Because these guys, when they come to the site and they ask for your building permit and you don't have one, they are going to write stop work in red on your walls and all that. And it's embarrassing. Two, they seize the wheelbarrows, the shovels, all the working equipment of the guys because they are doing the work illegally. And one, it creates a mega inconvenience for us as the contractor or consultant you are using. Two, for the laborers that we have mobilized to come to the project to work, it makes them disgruntled. They will not want to work on future projects, etc. We do these things as the minimum form of housekeeping. They are the two requirements that you need before you should start any building project. Then next, we ask to see if the clients have like the architectural drawings, because that's what's going to determine the size, the design of the house, how deep the foundation is going to be and all that. Again, when it comes to architectural drawings, we have observed that people just come with building plans or a picture of a building and say, this is my architectural drawing. Those are not architectural drawings. Those don't give us any details about the depth of the foundation. They don't tell us about the sizes of the rooms. They don't give us any idea about the electrical and plumbing works that is to be done on the building. And it's good for you to get an architect to give you a detailed architectural drawing, because as part of the permit acquisition process to build your house, you would need to submit the detailed architectural drawings. Don't avoid it. Many a times when people come to us and they say, oh, I want us to build for us, and then they show us these pictures of the house, I just know that they haven't even started the permit acquisition process. And like I said, for us, those two, permit acquisition and title certificate, is important. Another reason why the title certificate is important is because of litigation. We don't want any land guards issues. We don't want any asafwache people coming to beat us and our laborers when they're on site. We want people to come and harm us in any way. We want to protect ourselves at the nearest site of any issue. We will leave your project, and that's part of the contracts that we sign with our clients. So these guys were professionals. I mean, they had a title certificate. They had already started the process of acquiring the permits and all that. Once we had that, they also had very detailed architectural drawings, but we had some inputs that we made to help improve the overall drawings. And based on that, we had a call to understand, one, when will they be ready to start? Two, how much funds do they have and how much funds do they intend to invest into the project on a weekly, monthly, daily basis, etc. Three, when do they intend to complete the building project? Because for us, we don't want to take up any project that's going to last 10 years, etc. Nobody has time for that. To want short-term projects, like maybe a year, 2, 3, that's fine. But projects where you're going to be contributing 1,000 CDs, etc., it's too much work for too little returns, and the time involved is not really worth it for us. But it doesn't mean for you, if that's what you have, don't embark on your building project. You can do it bit by bit, bit by bit. That works. Once we had ascertained all that, then we agreed on how we want the building project to run. For us, we are very, very flexible. Some people come to us and say they want us to handle every part of the building project. They don't want to think about anything. They will just come and monitor, check, or if they are in the diaspora, they will let their friends, etc., come and check. And when it comes to monitoring and supervision, we've introduced a very great technology in building construction that we'll talk about more. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet done so. The terms is, for them, they would procure all the materials. So in terms of cement, blocks, iron rods, etc., they live close to Ayi Mensah. We don't live close to Ayi Mensah. They have already done arrangements with merchants in that area. There's a block factory close to their land site, and then they'll go and negotiate the cost of blocks, materials, iron rods, sand, etc. And whenever it is needed, they will bring it to site. They will procure all the materials, and then we would provide the labor. Next, what we did was we gave them a detailed breakdown of the cost of materials and labor, and this is what is referred to as the bill of quantities. So if you have your own architects and quantity surveyors, we are fine. But if you want us to help you with those two, we can provide that for you, because we have a team of architects, quantity surveyors, structural engineers, etc. on our building projects that manage all these aspects for clients. In this instance, they didn't have their own quantity surveyor, so we prepared the bill of quantities for them. Then, as good project managers, we also prepared a work breakdown structure which details how much is going to go into each stage of the building project week by week. Week 1 will tell you what the expected deliverable is going to be. For example, we'll do mobilization. That's getting all the masons, the plumbers, the electricians, the carpenters that we are going to need for the project. We are going to mobilize them, bring them to site, introduce them to the key people, etc. Week 2, we are going to do setting out. Week 3, we are going to do excavation, etc. We'll tell you each week what you should expect, how much you need to invest in terms of the materials, cement, how many bags of cement, how many tons of iron rods, which size of iron rods, how many trips of sand, etc. And then we'll also give you the labor cost for all those. And if you subscribe to our newsletter, we are going to give you some breakdown behind the scenes of some of these costs. Or you can book a consultation session by clicking on the link below, and then we can also guide you on that. So once all that was discussed and agreed upon, we gave them an estimate of what the total building was going to cost. They were fine with it because it was realistic. They had done other comparisons and ours was very realistic as well. well, and they wanted us because they trusted us. There's a face that they can see on social media, on YouTube, etc. And from our videos, they could get a sense that we're people of integrity, and so they really wanted to work with us. And for me too, I'm all about inspiring young people, and when I see young people who want to build instead of using their money for frivolous things, I'm all excited about that. So we accepted, we agreed, and then we started the project. How did we start? We first of all went to visit the building site or the land site. We looked at the terrain, we looked at the soil, we looked at the wall they had constructed, we looked at the neighboring areas, we discussed how to get the materials to site, how to even bring our people, we looked at shortcuts to the site, we looked at all these things, including security. How do we get people to come and live on a site, to monitor the materials and the work that is ongoing, etc., etc. It's a very detailed breakdown. And like I said, in the next series of videos and in the next couple of weeks, we are going to go step by step into all these details. So finally, we went to the site to meet the important people so that when we bring our laborers to site, nobody comes and says, hey, where are you guys from? Stop work and all that. We went to meet the people who will be taking care of the site, the caretaker. We went to look at the place where we can get blocks, look at the place where the sand is, the stones are, the cement, to even tell if the quality of the blocks and sand that they want to use is right. We were introduced to all the key players over there, the neighbors and all that. And then we started with mobilization. So in the next video, we are going to talk about mobilization. Make sure to subscribe, leave any questions you have, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks, Bebre.